We are back here on Open Breaking News. House Speaker Paul Ryan announcing he will not seek re-election. This news comes as Ryan is planning to have a meeting a little bit later on today with GOP officials informing him of his decision not to run. Plus, also, the FBI raided the offices of Michael Cohen, personal attorney of President Donald Trump, this past week, causing a flurry of tweets from the president. Here to break down all the latest, of course, we've got Lee Bynes, our political analyst. And Lee, good to have you, buddy.
Good to be back.
So let's talk about this. What does this actually mean, Paul Ryan not seeking re-election? Some surprised, some are not surprised.
Well, you know what? He's had some pretty interesting competition showing up, running against him. A really blue-collar, hard hat type of guy. He's got some raising some nice funds, and what's going on in Washington right now. This whole thing about a bloodbath coming in November. Perhaps Paul Ryan read the tea leaves and said, "Wait a minute, I don't want to be a part of this. Let me just, find a way to start. As they usually say, I'm going to spend more time with my family." And but where this could be a danger point for the president, quite frankly, is that whenever a politician decides not to run, you generally find out that that's when they become really open and honest about what they really think. And so far, up until now, no matter how egregious Donald Trump's activities, his attitude, and how he's been tweeting and stuff like that, Paul Ryan's been the good little soldier, staying in line, making apologies, not saying anything whenever he possibly could. So at this stage of the game, he could turn into another Flake in Arizona or Bob Corker out of Tennessee and start speaking his mind, and that could cause
what does this mean specifically for the GOP, given the fact that Ryan is the House Speaker, a lot of leverage, a lot of power? Who do we now see is rising up to take his place? And more particularly, what does this do for the GOP as a whole, losing Ryan as their focal piece?
Well, you know what? It's not a matter of just losing Ryan. If you've been following the news, you find out that there's been anywhere from 25 to 29 Republicans or GOP members in the House that have decided that they're not going to run for office, and they're probably not going to run for the same reasons that Paul Ryan has decided not to run. They don't want to be a part of the bloodbath. So moving forward, we don't think that there is going to be, at least myself, if things go the way that a lot of folks are predicting, there will be no Republican leader of the House. Nancy Pelosi, if she's not moved along by the progressive unit on her side of the aisle, we're going to have a Democratic Speaker in the House.
And that's not likely to happen, given the fact of all that's going on with the GOP right now. We know that the GOP will put somebody there.
Well, if they can't, in the meantime, but I'm saying there isn't going to be any, that's what this is a prediction, is that there isn't going to be any leadership role for the GOP in the House moving forward because of the blue wave that's coming. That's the expectation.
You mentioned the term bloodbath at the beginning. Honestly, looking towards the midterm elections, some people are saying, listen, it may be, and others are saying, well, we're really looking at it and saying that the GOP will still be able to maintain seats and they won't be able to lose seats. Are you predicting that there'll be a huge?
It's not really a major prediction because history shows that the president or whomever is in the White House during that first midterm election cycle that comes through, there's generally a big change of hands in the House of Representatives. It happened in the Obama administration on both of his terms. It's happened throughout history. There's no reason to believe that this won't happen again right now. And given the current state of affairs in the United States and how the United States looks on a global stage right now, it's a sure bet that there's going to be a handover of power. I would stake I want to say my reputation on that because anything can happen in politics.
Yes. Because we were the same people who said that the president would not go. You and JC said that the president would not be elected.
Well, I don't think I was there for that, but I was in the group of people who.
Right. My fault. It was Dominic Carter. Absolutely.
I was part of the group of people that said there's no way this man could be elected. But look what happened. Here we are discussing him right now.
And let's discuss him right now. Talking about Michael Cohen, his office, the president's personal attorney. His office is raided by the FBI. The president talking about infringement and being mistreated. But many people already speculated that if Mueller wanted to get some information, one of the best ways to get it was by going after Cohen.
Well, here's the deal. We could turn this into a very interesting and entertaining segment because I think we should start calling Mr. Cohen for what he is. I'm sorry. Michael the Fixer Cohen. Now, based on that very definition of what a fixer is a person who knows where all the bodies are buried. These are the people who do the dirty work. They clean up after various messes. And the only reason why a person would need a fixer is somebody who has something to hide. And so when I believe Michael Cohen answered CNN in a tweet to say that, yes, I'm a fixer, and he's proud of it. He's proud of it. He's with the president 24/7. He's on call 24/7. If the president finds himself in a mess, he calls Michael Cohen, and Michael Cohen gets the job done. Evidently, once he made that statement, the FBI started keeping a close eye on him because they know if there's any dirt to be found, he's the one who's been digging the holes for it. And it doesn't take, I mean, let's face it, judges don't give out no-knock warrants like candy. A no-knock warrant, which is what they use to do this raid, is one where this isn't a polite knock on the door. This is, we ring the bell. We don't give you a call and say, would you come down and talk to us? A no-knock warrant means they're kicking your door down. They're not going to give you a chance to hide anything, grab a gun, or find any place to run. This is when they're coming in. They swarm your house, your office, or whatever facilities you keep your private papers in, and they take everything they possibly can carry as evidence that they could be able to use against you and any people that you may be protecting. So moving forward, yeah, I think the president is probably in a lot of trouble right now. He's very, very worried because if anybody knows what's going on and has the dirt on him, it's his fixer. And yeah, the FBI wants to get that man out. Here's the deal. If they can flip Michael Cohen, the president is done.
Well, we talked a little bit about the fact that the GOP midterm elections, given the fact that we're talking about the president, impeachment, Stormy Daniels, these things, how much do you think America and American voters, this weighs on the heart of American voters, going to the polls saying, listen, we want a president that's going to govern, and let's not have to worry about personal affairs and tweets and things of that magnitude. Because in the original election, we know a lot of people said, well, President Trump would never be elected, but that proved different. Well, is this enough right now to create some real change at the ballot box?
Well, you have to take this particular view. A person with all of these challenges that are going on in his life that's outside of his actual duties of the president of the United States, one has to wonder how effective can he be? Where is his mind really at? How can he govern? How can he lead when he's pretty much trying to keep his own house in order? His personal house with his wife and what's going on with the Stormy Daniels and all of the other relationships that are out there, the people coming to the fore saying almost on a daily basis, I had a relationship with this guy, he did this, he did that, he said the other. And with this attorney for Stormy Daniels, he's an attack dog. The guy is out there and he's pretty smart and he can create a lot of issues for the president. And the president is facing an unprecedented situation right now with regards to Syria. And he's got to make some serious decisions, and he's got to make them quickly. And when we're talking about the possibility of them responding to this alleged chemical attack in Douma, in Syria, the Russians have already responded with counter threats, saying that, look, if you happen to strike against us this time, we got something for you. Now, the last time when the chemical attacks occurred, alleged again, because there's very little proof behind these accusations in most cases. They launched, I believe it was between 58, 59 Tomahawk missiles into Syria. These are made by Raytheon. These things are deadly and extremely lethal and accurate. But this time, the Russians are warning the United States that, look, we've got S-300 and S-400 missile defense systems set up around the country. We have a very, very strong defense mechanisms in place to deal with aircraft coming and going, and we will not hesitate to use them if the United States makes an attack. Why should the United States pay attention to this, as well as any coalition people or the Israelis? Is because just a month ago, the Israelis lost the F-16 as they were doing a flyover to do a little damage. And that hadn't happened in more than 30, 35 years. So, yeah, things are shaping up right there to be a pretty interesting situation. And because of that, the president needs to have his eye on the ball and not looking over his shoulder at FBI investigators trying to take him down.
Lee Bonds, our political analyst. Thanks a lot. And that's why we bring you in every week.
Good to be here.
All righty.